Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome to a special module today. A special module today as we are moving into a very interesting time in the bull market. Interesting time in the market in general. So I wanted to move my bonus module of my top 10 bull market coins to earlier in the module piece. So we're moving it from module 10 through to module number 3, which I'm sure everyone is okay with. So that's good. Um, so um, so I just wanted to bring that one forward. So I'm sure everyone is fine with that. So if you are with us live, please put a hello in the chat. I can see a bunch of people jumping in here now. We've got so many people flooding in. So thank you all for joining us. Yes, hello everyone. Hello Debbie and Brian. Hello Brad and Aaron and Liz. Jahan, thank you all so much. And we've got a very special guest with us today as well. You may have seen, if you are with us live, you would have seen him pop in the chat there before. The awesome Bisha from our very good friends at the awesome crypto broker Stormrake. So we have Bisha with us as well. So I wanted to run through some some real basics today, and also do a introduction to Bisha for anyone who doesn't already know who Bisha or the awesome gentlemen and wonderful ladies, awesome team at Stormrake are. I wanted to do an introduction to them as well. Because if you are joining us and you're listening to this recording, then your best bet could potentially be to be purchasing these coins through Stormrake. So it's an option that we give our students because we have found that, well, a couple of things. We've found number one, that they are not only the best in the business when it comes to their customer service, Stormrake, but they are also the best in the business when it comes to their fees for their for buying crypto off them. So they are an amazing service that are actually based in Melbourne, Australia. So not too far from where we are here. Obviously, myself and the amazing team at Crypto New Rich, we're all based in Australia. But yes, so I am going to sorry, I'm just bringing this up here. I can see that we've got so many comments coming in about Bisha and Stormrake. So I know a lot of the people who are on this live call have worked with Stormrake before, so I already know that you guys know just how amazing he is. Yeah, they really are. Kirsten says Bisha is great. I've bought a lot from Bisha and Stormrake, so there's a lot of love coming in there for Bisha as well. So Bisha, I will stop talking now. I'm going to introduce you to the call. How are you, my friend?
My man, I'm doing really well. Yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. Everyone say g'day to Bisha in the chat if you're on with us live. Obviously, you're listening to the recording, you can't. But we've got plenty of love coming in here for you, Bisha. I know a lot of these people who are live with us on the call have already used your amazing service. So that's a good thing, mate. You got plenty of fans here live.
That's it. And it's always good to connect with people who I've served because, when they come back again and again, it means you're doing something right. So I'm very grateful to be here again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. So, um, Aaron's asked, how is it spelt? So it's spelt Storm Rake. So all one word, Stormrake. And do you want to just quickly say now, Bisha, what is the actual website? I believe it's you, or you say what it is, so you can confirm it all.
Yep, super easy. Stormrake.com. I'll put it in the chat so people can access it as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So stormrake.com it is. Yeah. So Stormrake.com. For those who are with us live, obviously it's in the chat there right now for you to check out. For those who are watching the recording, you'll be able to. We'll have the information up on the membership site, so you'll easily be able to click on it and check it out. So yes, I wanted to bring Bisha with us on the call today to go over these bull market coins and also be able to share a little bit about what Stormrake do, and if you wanted to use their services, fantastic, you can go ahead and use them. And I think also after chatting to Stormrake and Bisha, they've all kindly offered a pretty incredible deal for everyone who listens to this recording, whether it be live or whether it be the recording. A pretty incredible deal for everyone in Crypto New Rich. So he's going to share that with us as well in just a minute. So that's really good. So yes, so a lot of good information coming out. Yes. Thank you all in the chat for the kind words. Yes, they're doing a fantastic job. Beautiful stuff. So just to be clear, for anyone who starts looking at these coins and wants to potentially build out their portfolio, obviously we've got the portfolio strategy as far as Crypto New Rich is concerned, a very easy, I like to call it, straightforward winning portfolio strategy. My top 10 coins that I like for this bull market, and I'm going to give a bit of perspective on all of it, so everyone is aware exactly. I guess you could say exactly how I see this playing out and why it's so important to not just be diversified, in my opinion, in different coins, but to also be very aware of what's happening, of where we are in the cycle. Okay, so I wanted to quickly touch on that first, and then what I'm going to do after I've touched on the cycle, we're going to throw back over to Bisha, and he's going to give a bit of an introduction about what Stormrake do, and then we will get into the coins. So, firstly, obviously, for everyone that's joining us here live at the moment, we're recording this in August 2024. And for anyone who's listening to the recording, that gives you a bit of perspective of when we're talking about this. So whenever I share information about coins that I really like with it, whether it's in a market cycle or whatever it may be, I always like to give perspective, obviously, on time frames, so it gives a better idea, especially if people are listening back to a recording potentially in 3, 6, 9, 12 months time, whatever it may be. So, to be clear, where we are right now, in my opinion, is that we are moving into what I see as quite a nice macro bull market trend, and I'm seeing some. Well, we've seen some incredible growth already in this year, 2024. Obviously, we've seen some corrections along the way, and that's totally normal for the crypto market. For anyone that's been in the market any longer than a couple of years, you would know very well that it's not an uncommon thing to get corrections, sometimes quite large corrections, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%, and more, right? These are normal things and a healthy movements along the way. The most important thing here is that you are holding you are diversifying, getting into your coins, and you are holding them or hodling them, as we like to call it in the crypto space, to get the maximum gains from the market. Okay. Now, a bit of perspective, as far as potentially when you're listening to this recording, let's use that as an example. You may be listening to this recording in October, November, December 2024. Maybe you're listening to this recording in the year 2025. Whenever it is you're listening to this, it's always important to bring perspective onto where the market is. Now, we're going to touch on the market cycle in the next couple of modules in particular. And this is going to give you very clear perspective on how this plays out. Now, obviously, this module was meant to be module 10. I wanted to go through the 5 steps of the crypto pentagon to give people a clear understanding of how these things work before they venture out into the crypto world and potentially purchase some coins. But we had an overwhelming response of people wanting to know what coins are in the top 10 and what it is. So, due to popular demand, we are sharing that. Okay. Now, if you are listening to this, these modules, obviously this is set as module 3. Realistically, just to be clear, if you are a complete newbie to crypto, and you are, this is your first venture or your first foray into crypto, I would actually strongly suggest for you to stop this webinar here and to go and watch modules 4 through to 9 first, and then come back to this one at module as the 10th module, right, that you're watching. In my opinion, that's the best way to be doing this process. Now, obviously live, we're sharing this now. We've got this up here now, which is fine. But I just wanted to be clear on that. Now, if you are brand new to crypto and you're listening to this live, there obviously you can diversify and go out into these different cryptos now. Obviously, we just are here purely for educational purposes, and I just share the information and what I do and how I do it. But to give perspective, like I said, if you're completely brand new, I cannot kind of emphasize enough how important it is for you to do your, let's say, your apprenticeship or your education first. Learn and understand the 5 steps to the 5-step pentagon, as we know, and obviously market cycles are such a crucial part of that. Now, with all of that out of the way, okay, and I hope I've made myself very clear when I share this information. With all that out of the way, let's move into the next step, which is me kind of explaining, because this is a very common question that I found, when I was educating in the last bull market cycle, and I'm sure it's going to be a question that potentially you may have as you're listening to this, whether you're listening to this live or whether you're listening to this as a recording later in 2024 or in 2025. You may be thinking, well, Troy, you're going to share with me your top 10 bull market coins of what you see in this cycle, but how do I know that where we are in the cycle is a good time to buy? And this is a very good question, okay? And this is something that I always say to people, that we must always be prepared to adapt to the market. We must always be prepared to adapt, to bend to the market as to where it's at. Potentially, we could see a top of the market in early 2025, in mid 2025, at the end of 2025. There's varying areas where we could see a potential top, and we never know when the potential top is until after the fact, right? There's lots of factors that play into as the market moves up. Obviously, greed is a huge factor that plays into it, because with greed, we feel like we can just hang on and our money's just going to keep going up and up and up and up. Now, once again, if you're brand new to crypto, that is absolutely not the case. No matter what investment you're in, it never just keeps going vertically up all the time. It's going to have corrections. It's going to have movements. We're going to hit a top, and then there's going to be some kind of sell-off that's going to happen. Okay, that's inevitable. That's how markets work. So, I would be very clear in saying this again, that I would actually, if you are brand new to crypto, you may check all these coins out now, and you can go and do whatever you want because it's your money. But in my opinion, you're better off waiting for the education first of how this whole thing plays out. Because, as I said, you could be listening to this video. It could be late in 2024. It could be at some point in 2025. And you're thinking, well, is this the right time to get in? Well, if you watch the other educational videos, as I said, from module 4 through to 9 and so on, then you're going to know whether it is the right time to get in, because you're going to understand the cycle, you're going to understand the timing, you're going to understand all of those things. Okay, well, you're going to have a much better understanding than what you had to start with. Okay, so I just want to give a clear perspective on all that, because I think it's super important to know this. We're all very excited. We all want to jump in. We all just want to go and just put our money in, and then we just jump in 2 feet first. And then so often I've seen people do this and then get caught out because they haven't done the right, I like to call it apprenticeship, before just going all in. Okay, so I hope I'm very clear when I'm saying all that. I know it's probably a bit of a dad talk, shall we say? But yeah, I just wanted to be clear on that. Now, for the people who are commenting live, and who are saying, yes, Troy, I'm trying to have a look at module 4, guys. I will say again, please try and listen when I say this. All of these modules, guys, are recorded live. Okay, so for those of you who are listening live right now and are saying, I can't watch module 4, that's because it hasn't been recorded yet, guys. Okay. Am I clear? Put a number 1 in the chat right now for the guys who are listening live, if I am clear. Okay. Awesome. That is because module 4 and onwards haven't been recorded yet. We're recording them live so we can have a live audience and you guys can ask questions as we go. Okay. So I hope I'm clear on that now. There's plenty of ones coming in. So that's really good. Okay. Awesome. So with that out of the way, and with my pep talk done, I'm going to move on to the next session. No, you're all right, guys. Aaron and everyone else saying, sorry, I didn't realize that. You guys are totally fine. I totally understand. It's easy to miss, but I just want to be clear so everyone knew. Just so our support team don't get a bunch of emails saying, I can't access module 4. Well, that's because it's not done yet. Okay. For those who are listening to this recording, obviously the modules are done and you can watch away. And once again, if you're listening to the recording, I would suggest for you to watch from module 4 to 9 before watching this one. That's my recommendation. But once again, I'm purely talking about education. All right. Purely talking about education. From an education standpoint here, and that's how I've always been, and that's what everything with Crypto New Rich is all about. It's all about financial education. So, with that all out of the way, and that all crystal clear, I hope, I wanted to introduce back into the chat again my good friend Bisha from Stormrake, and I wanted to just get you, Bisha, if you could just give us maybe a 30-second to 1-minute spiel on who Stormrake is. I know that you guys have been the leading source in Australia and New Zealand, but I believe and I know this, that you're expanding and going to be international as well. Can you give us a bit of a background on where you guys started, how it came about, and where you are now?
Awesome. Thank you, Troy, for giving me the opportunity to share. So we got kickstarted in 2019. We started a simple crypto brokerage. The business actually started in its infancy back in 2015 as a stat arb or statistical arbitrage trading desk, and it was only running private capital. We weren't client facing at that stage. It took us 4 years of, trading in the markets ourselves, getting exposure to Bitcoin and crypto and understanding the entire ecosystem before we became client facing in 2019. January 2nd actually is the birth of Stormrake. And then from there, we've been on a bit of a tear, just acquiring as many clients as possible, trying to serve them as best as we can. And the reason why we do quite well is we built our own trading engine, but our clients don't have to face it. It's a bit of a monstrosity. If I was to open it up and show it to people, it would melt faces and melt minds. But the reason why they can trade with us in a really simple way, it's just a phone call or an email, or drop me a message on WhatsApp or Telegram, and then you can carry on with your day and we fill the order for you. It's like a personalized old school brokerage that you might have had, for your father may have had or your grandfather may have had, where they place their orders via phone or fax. We don't accept fax orders. We don't have a fax machine, but it's that easy. You just drop in the order request and that's it. We're a full-on spot broker where you can buy, sell, or swap. So you can on-ramp fiat, you can cash out, you can swap between coins. and that's how we operate. We also offer a custody service where you can hold assets with us. However, our clients are welcome to withdraw to their own private wallets like Trezor and MetaMask, because I know how much value there is to be going on chain and unlocking the value of DeFi and other coins yourself as well. So that's fully serviced on our side. So in a nutshell, we're brokers and custodians, but digging a little bit deeper, we provide full-on support, full-on guidance. And if you need any sort of execution, we would love to be your number one choice.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Bisha. And Bisha, I know we were chatting a little bit earlier, and you mentioned to me that for everyone in Crypto New Rich, you wanted to offer something special. So no matter when it is that you're joining Crypto New Rich, whether it be in 2024, 2025, or beyond, you wanted to offer something special to our customers.
Absolutely. So from our end, we do, because we are a full service crypto brokerage, we usually have a minimum of $2,000 per coin. So if you wanted to come in and get Troy's top 10 coins,
and that's
looking at
Australian dollars as well, isn't it? 2,000 Australian dollars. Is that
well,
right?
To keep it easy, it's 2,000 dollars in Aussie, yes, but when we go international, it'll be 2,000 US.
Okay, got it. Yep.
Yeah, and so if you wanted to come in and get Troy's top 10 coins, usually it's a $20,000 minimum investment at the very least, because it's 2K a pop. However, we're reducing that by 50% for the life of the account for all of the Crypto New Rich members. So that's $1,000. So if you wanted to come in and get Troy's top 10 picks for the bull market, then you would only have to have a $10,000 outlay. And that's it. And on top of that, we also provide the Crypto New Rich community a 33% discount for the life of their account, which knocks our brokerage fee from 3% down to 2%. And that's the only cost of transacting with us. We don't charge a spread or a price markup like other exchanges do, where you can sometimes see, oh, they're charging 0.8 or 1% for brokerage, but then they've got a 5% spread, which is a hidden cost that you pay. We don't charge any of that. So for you guys, 2% and a 1K minimum per coin.
That's awesome. Thank you for that, Bishop. That's an amazing deal. And just to be clear, just before we jump into the coins now, I just wanted to just if you could clear up, because a lot of people say to me, they say, "Oh, Troy, this is awesome. You know, it's great. I'm getting great customer service, etc. through Stormrake, but I notice they're doing 2%, and I notice other exchanges only do 1% or 1.5%. Could you explain to people?" I guess even though they're saying it's 1 or 1.5%, why it ends up actually so much dearer than that with other exchanges?
Absolutely. So we have a flat rate that charge, and we're super transparent about it. We'll show it to you on your trade statement. There's no hidden fees or anything like that. So you'll see the cost of the trade, and you'll know the cost of the trade upfront. So let's say you want to allocate $10,000. You know that the maximum you'll pay is $200, which is 2%, right? Nice and easy. Whereas on an exchange or other places where you're trading, you're going to face slippage plus spread. Slippage is, let's say you see the price is 150 on Solana, but then by the time you get filled on your order, it's 150.5 or 151. You've worn close to 0.5% of slippage there. Then you add on top of that the spread, where you have to cross the spread to get to the other side of the buy order. And sometimes what they're showing you is not exactly honest. What that means is they might be showing you 150, but 150 might only give you, $200 worth of your order filled. And so by the time you actually get in the $2,000 that you wanted to allocate, you're at 152. So that's the reason why you can end up with, on paper, a 0.5 or a 0.8% brokerage rate, but then your actual cost for placing the order could be north of 4, 5, 6%, depending on the volatility.
Yeah, that's really well put. And so for anyone who may have lost a little bit of what Bisha said there, basically what we're saying is that, or what Stormrake do extremely well is that, you're not paying for the spread like what Bisha said, which is it can be sometimes be quite extreme how much it slips and how much it moves as well with slippage. So
Right.
It's super important to know and understand that, because a lot of people go, "Oh, this exchange only offers 1% or 1.5%." but there's a reason behind it, right?
And
um,
then and I'll add on top of that, Troy, we're facing 30 exchanges ourselves. So
yeah,
this goes back to our history as a stat arb trading desk. For essentially what that means is you can buy on one exchange and sell on another that's showing a higher price because BTC, is Bitcoin. There's no variety of BTC coins out there. There is only the one Bitcoin, but the price of it across exchanges varies quite considerably. So
yeah,
what we do is we operate as a pricing and liquidity aggregator. So we'll always buy at the lowest priced exchange. And then if you're on the sell side and you're looking to exit, then we'll always look for the highest offer in the market for you. And that could be a 3 to 5% spread between exchanges themselves. So we'll find you savings as well just by us being able to face many more exchanges than the average individual may be able to do themselves.
I guess you could probably liken you guys very similar to, you guys are essentially crypto brokers, right? Which is very, very similar to a mortgage broker, which will go out and find the best deal for the customer. Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. That's the best analogy.
Yeah. So if you've ever had a mortgage broker before, guys, they're not just going to go to the bank that they're assigned with. They're going to go out and find a great deal for you. They can choose from many different banks, and Bisher and the team at Stormrake can choose from many different exchanges, and that's the beauty of what they do. Hence the reason why you save money. Now, I'm just going to answer a couple of questions here before we move on. Um, James has asked how long is the offer for? James, the beauty is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Bisher, I believe you guys are going to do that for the basically the lifetime of Crypto New Rich customers that offer. Is that correct?
That's correct, but you have to come in through the Crypto New Rich link, and
Correct.
or you can just name drop Troy to be able to do that, and that's fine. So that's effective
Yeah.
immediately, and you can work with us on that minimum.
So what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to explain for all the people who are brand new to Stormrake. I'm going to explain to you guys how easy it'll be for you to do it, so you can get that offer. I'm going to explain that in just 1 second. And I just wanted to clear this question up because Marcus asked a great question. Troy, if I can't afford the $10,000 now to do the 10 coins, but I can only get say one or two coins, how can I do that? And what you could do, Marcus, and we're going to share this as well. But you could literally, for example, let's say you could only afford, $1,000, right? So obviously, Bisha, they're offering the offer for all Crypto New Rich customers instead of 2,000, it's $1,000 minimum. Let's say you could only afford $1,000. Then what you can do is just purchase $1,000 of USDT, for example, or USDC, like a stable coin. And then once you've got that $1,000 in USDT, we're then going to show you in a couple of modules time, we're going to show you different wallets that you can use, and you could get the team at Stormrake to send your USDT or your stable coin to that wallet. And then once it's at that wallet, you can then convert the coin into the different coins you want, right? So that's one thing that you could do, Marcus, is that if you think, oh, I can't afford the $10,000, then that's how you could get around that. Yes, for Australians who are listening, it's 10,000 Australian dollars. That's correct. Outside of Australia, New Zealand, it is US dollars. Okay. Um, this you could probably explain this. I know you just explained it before, Bishop, but maybe just one more time. Sky's just asked, can you just define what a spread means again, please?
Yeah, it's the difference between the buy price and the sell price of any one coin. So let's take Bitcoin, for example, is trading at 55,000. That's the market price. The offer is going to be slightly higher at 55,200, and the bid might be slightly higher at 55,100. And then when the price comes down into the bid or into the offer, that's when the trade gets matched. But essentially, a spread is just the difference between what somebody is willing to buy BTC for and what somebody's willing to sell it for. And that difference can be measured in percentage points, to be able to give you an understanding of how wide the spread is or how tight it is on any given exchange or market. The more liquid it is, the tighter the spread. The more illiquid a coin is, the wider the spread. So if you're buying BTC and ETH, spread will be very minimal, like less than 0.5%, sometimes even 0.2%, quite tight. Whereas if you're going out and getting some alts, the spread and the difference between the buy price and the sell price, you can park a Mack truck through it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So that would be obviously why it's an advantage to potentially get the different altcoins that I'm about to share through you guys, isn't it, Bishop? Because obviously the spread isn't going to be as severe as potentially other exchanges, yeah?
Correct, because unfortunately, a lot of retail traders and investors, they don't know about a lot of this stuff, which is completely fine. And then they'll just ram the order through and face and cross the spread and wear a lot of slippage. Whereas with us, we'll put the order on the make, or we'll execute across multiple exchanges to minimize that impact and be able to get the best possible price execution. And that doesn't even have to come in as order instructions from the client. That's just how we operate as a broker.
Yep, awesome. John's just asked, what about gas fees and timing when they are lower versus higher?
Great thing is you don't pay for that. You
exactly.
Just, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you won't pay for gas fees, John, so you won't have to worry about that. Ailsa has asked, do you have to pay Stormrake fees before you buy the coins? No, it's all included. It's not like a separate fees or anything like that. It's all included in the price, Ailsa.
That's right. So if you put in a $2,000 order, that's $40 in fees, and we'll just take it out of the trade value itself. So you'll end up with 1,960 worth of the coin.
Yeah, exactly. So Jenny's asked what are gas fees, and if you're a brand newbie, that's okay, Jenny. And anyone else who's listening who's a brand newbie, we're not going to talk about what gas fees are on this module. But just be rest assured, you don't need to know what they are as of right now, Jenny. If you're sticking to the basics, sticking to my winning portfolio, sticking to just how I'm sharing these things, then you won't need to worry about the gas fees at this stage, Jenny. There's always a time in the future to look into that. But as for you right now, dealing directly with a broker, for example, like Stormrake, you won't need to worry about gas fees. And we're not going to go into that in this early module either, okay? We're going to keep things nice and simple. Yes, exactly right, BJ. BJ's just said he's noticed other exchanges have big spreads, and that's not uncommon.
BJ, any relation to Patrick?
Very good. I think AFL player. For those who are listening outside of Australia, it's an AFL player here in Australia, Australian Football League.
the greatest sport in the world. But anyways, I'll put aside my bias for now.
Yes. It's debatable, but I get where you're saying, Bishop. No. So Judy's asked, is it difficult to open accounts for self-managed super funds? Now, for those who are listening outside of Australia, you wouldn't know what a self-managed super fund is, probably, obviously, because you don't have one outside of Australia. But no, it's a simple process, and I'm going to give you the details of in a second for Stormrake, Judy. So if you want to inquire about that, Stormrake can help you out with that as well. So I'm going to share with you now. Whether you're here with us live or you're listening to this recording in the future, Troy, this sounds great. How do I get this deal from Stormrake? How can I take advantage of this and move forward this? No problem. This is how you do it. So you need to send an email. Okay. So write this down, get out a pen and paper, or type it in your phone, or type it on your computer, whatever you want to do. Very simple email address for Bisher and the team at Stormrake. It's trade. So TRADE. All right. Trade, TRADE at Stormrake, or one word, STORMRAKE.com. All right. .com. So trade at stormrake.com. Okay. Now, if you want to take advantage of this offer, you simply send an email to the team. You mention Crypto New Rich, okay? And then you will get this offer, which is a minimum buy of the 50%, which is $1,000 per coin, plus the reduction in the fees as well. Okay, so trade at stormrake.com. Now, if you're watching this recording, Stormrake's details will be up in this module for you guys just to click on. But either way, simple stuff. Send an email to the guys, mention Crypto New Rich, and you'll get this deal. Okay? Awesome. So with that now done, let's now step into the exciting part, yeah? the exciting part of my top 10 coins. So here you can see it on the screen. So I've kept things as simple as I possibly can. All right, I'm going to talk through these in a second, and then we're going to chat about it and then go from there. Okay. Now, you guys will remember that when I talked about the winning portfolio strategy, and I spoke about this on the original webinar that you guys would have seen. Now, if you haven't seen the original webinar, once again, that's okay. I would suggest for those who haven't seen the winning portfolio strategy, you're going to learn all about it between modules 4 to modules 9, and then you will be able to apply it to this. Okay. But I'm going to explain it now, obviously in this module. So if you look at a pie graph, it's 40% Bitcoin, 40% in higher market cap coins, and 20% in lower market cap coins. All right. So kept things very easy, split it up in essentially, you know, very even splits. Okay. So we've got obviously Bitcoin at 40%. So if, as an example, guys, let's use an example that you decided we're going to keep it nice and round to keep it simple. Let's use that as an example. You decided, okay, I'm going to do $10,000 into this winning portfolio strategy. Now, just to be clear, once again, these are not recommendations. These are not Troy giving financial advice. This is not anything like that. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion on the top 10 altcoins that I believe have a very good chance, in my opinion, to be to end the bull market in a winning position. Okay, that is all this is. You don't have to do these coins. You can just look at them, go check them out. You might decide, you know what, they're not for me, and that's totally fine. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing with these coins. Okay, so let me explain a little bit. Let me start with the higher market cap coins. So obviously we have a total amount that we're going to spend of 40% in the higher market cap coins, right? So Bitcoin is at 40%. So let's say we're using $10,000. That would mean that 40% of $10,000 is $4,000, right? Once again, just a hypothetical. We're using $10,000 we're putting in to the top 10 winning portfolio. Bitcoin is at $4,000, right? Because it's 40%. Therefore, when we go into the higher market cap coins, we now have another total of 40%. So if we divide 40 by 5, that gets 8% each, right? So to keep it nice and simple, we would then look at putting 8% in Ethereum, 8% in Solana, 8% in Chainlink, 8% in Near Protocol, and 8% in Fetch as well. Okay. So to be clear, you don't have to do these percentages. I've just made it easy as possible for people to capitalize on this potential opportunity. You don't have to do 8% in each. You might look at this and go, well, you know what? I've got 40%, which is if we're using a $10,000, if we're using a $10,000 portfolio, for example, I've got $4,000. I'd much rather have 2,000 in Ethereum, 1,000 in Solana, and then do $333 in Chainlink, Near, and Fetch, right? That could be what you may potentially do. Whatever you want to do is fine. This is just a suggestion of making it super easy. So if we're going off a $10,000 portfolio, 8% in each would mean that we've got $800 in Ethereum, Solana, Chainlink, Near Protocol, and Fetch AI as well. Okay. Those 5 coins, as I speak, in August 2024, are all, I think the lowest market cap out of all them as I'm speaking is Fetch, which I think is sitting around about a 30 market cap. So they're essentially classed, anything in that top kind of 20 to 30 range is essentially classed as a higher market cap coin. All right. So obviously Ethereum is the number 2 coin in the world. Solana, as I speak, Solana is around about 5. As I speak, Chainlink is around about 16, I believe. As I speak, Near Protocol is about 20. And as I speak, Fetch AI is around about number 30 as far as the market cap's concerned. Okay. So they're the 5 coins that I am looking at for my winning portfolio strategy that I'm going to set up in an account. Now, I'm actually going to set all of these up in an account, in a $10,000 account, and I'm going to set these up and as part of the Crypto New Rich community. As we finish the modules, I'll have all this account set up as a $10,000 account, and then we're going to judge how it goes over the next potential 12 to 18 months. Okay. So it's not like I'm just speaking about these. These are actual coins that I'm going to have in a portfolio. All right. But once again, I'm keeping this super simple, keeping it to coins that I believe have a really good fighting chance to potentially create some awesome gains for us over the next potential bull market that we're moving into. Now, I want to make something clear as we move into the lower market cap coins. Obviously, we've got 20% in the lower market cap coins. And once again, there's 5 coins there. If we divide 20 by 5, we have 4% each, obviously, right? So if we're using a $10,000 portfolio, 4% in each of those is essentially $400 in each of those 5 coins. Now, in regards to these 5 coins, I want to just quickly explain something. Now, people may be looking at this going, Troy, Pepe is actually ranked, well, actually, as I speak, in August 2024, Pepe is actually ranked about number 25 or 26, which essentially is actually even a higher market cap than what Fetch is, as an example. So let me explain why I have Pepe in my lower market cap / higher risk portfolio. Now, rightly or wrongly, as you listen to this, you may agree with me or you may disagree with me, but I'm just sharing my thoughts on this. Pepe, essentially, as I speak, is still essentially a meme coin, right? Now, by a meme coin, we're going to speak about these in future modules, but by a meme coin, it was essentially set up at first as a social interaction / essentially a joke, right? Now, some of you may know or may have heard of Dogecoin, which was set up as a joke. It was created as a joke, and that now sits in the top 20. Another one, Shiba Inu, essentially set up the same way as a meme. That now belongs in the top 20 as I'm speaking as well. Okay. So in regards to Pepe, and you potentially may be asking the question, Troy, why is Pepe in your lower market cap coins when it's essentially sitting at number 25 or 26 in August 2024? It's essentially that I personally class that still as a higher risk coin because essentially it's a meme coin. Okay. Now, meme coins, love them or hate them. They can either, go drastically up in value or they could potentially go in the opposite direction. Okay. Because in my opinion, they still don't have enough real world or enough viability, shall we say, as say an Ethereum or a Solana or a Chainlink, right? So that's just my opinion. Now, I just wanted to make that clear before continuing, because a lot of people will be looking at that potentially going, Troy, why would you have Pepe when essentially it is in, as I'm speaking in August 2024, it's essentially around number 25 or 26. Now, the other 4 coins there are coins that I personally really like and I'm a big fan of. The first one is Beam, all right, BEAM. The next one's Myria, MYRIA. The next one's Mavia, MAVIA. And the last one is essentially meme coin, which is just MEME coin, right? It's literally called meme coin. So obviously, meme coin is a meme coin, right? It's literally a meme coin. So therefore, in my opinion, it is a higher risk coin. Okay, a higher risk coin. Now, sorry, I can see some comments in here, and I'm going to answer these comments in just a second. So let me finish explaining this, and then I'll answer your questions around these particular coins. So, Pepe, Beam, Miria, Mavia, meme coin. Now, Miria and Mavia are coins that are, I believe, as I'm speaking, are outside of the top 200. Beam, I believe, is outside of the top 100. As I speak, I think meme is in and around the 100 mark. Now, that all could change drastically by the time you're listening to this recording, obviously. But as I said, this is essentially a portfolio that I believe is one that is created that you could really get potential exceptional value out of. Okay. I believe it's one that you could get potential exceptional value out of because I like the spread of the different coins, and I like the spread that they're in different categories, and they're essentially ticking a lot of different boxes, whether it be layer one, whether it be meme coin, whether it be blockchain gaming, whether it be AI. They're ticking a lot of boxes. So I believe this is a very attractive and good looking winning portfolio, and something that essentially you could get it set up very easy, right? So to get something like this set up, if you were going through Stormrake, for example, Bisher and the team at Stormrake already know that this is my top 10 winning portfolio strategy, so they can do it super simple for you guys. You just have to email them, and they can literally purchase all these coins for you, and they can hold them until you want to move them into wherever you want to move them. Or if you don't want the guys at Stormrake to hold them, that's totally fine and understandable as well. And we promote self custody, as do Stormrake. So you could essentially get them to buy them for you, and then you could transfer them to your own hardware wallet storage. Now, once again, if you're brand new to crypto and I mention something like hardware wallet storage, now, obviously, you're going to learn about that in future modules, okay? And if you listen to this in the correct order, this is essentially module 10. We moved it to module 3 because everyone was excited and wanted to have a look at these top 10 coins to potentially purchase into, okay, if that's what they wanted to do. But once again, you're going to learn about hardware wallets and this kind of thing in future modules, okay? So I want to make that crystal clear. Now, let's oh, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate the kind words. Let's have a look at some of these questions, okay? And I'll answer some of these for you, and I'll bring a couple of these up so people are aware and they know what they are. So let me just okay, the majority of the questions are, Troy, what are the tickers for these different coins? Aaron's asked, can you clarify which Beam coin it is? Because there's two Beam coins. A couple of other people have asked about different coins. Why isn't this coin in? Why isn't that coin in? I'm not going to go over and justify my decision. I'm just going to explain what my top 10 coins are. And that's that. So I'm not going to talk about other coins. If people like other coins, no problem. Go and buy the other coins. This is just my opinion. Of course, you're just here to listen to my opinion and and share my education. And you can either choose to do it or not. Okay, let's have a look at some of these other questions. Christine's asked, I have a Trezor one. It doesn't support some of these coins. So that's okay, Christine. We're going to be talking about different hardware wallets, which will be able to support these coins as well. So that's okay. We'll talk about that in future modules. Okay, let's have a look in here. Um, do, 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 do. Yep, no worries, Aaron. You're welcome. Yep. So Ep just talked to Stormrake about the different coins and how it's set out. Um, they can help you with that. Um, okay. All right. Awesome. So I'm going to share these coins. So I'm just going to stop sharing this screen for a second, and I'm going to bring up another screen and share with you exactly what these coins are, so everyone is not confused at all. Okay, so I've just brought up a new screen here, which is coinmarketcap.com. You don't have to use coinmarketcap.com. You can use coingecko.com. You can use whatever you like. Um, so I'm going to have bring up the different coins here so everyone's clear. Had a couple of people asking, can we have a look at what they are, the logo, etc. So let's just bring this up so everyone's crystal clear. All right. Coin number one, obviously, no brainer. It's Bitcoin, right? Number one here, it's Bitcoin. Coin number two is Ethereum, right? Everyone knows Ethereum. If you don't know Ethereum because you're brand new to crypto, that's totally fine. But Ethereum is here. It's the number two coin, right? So if you wanted to check these coins out and know where they are, you can go to coinmarketcap.com and you can have a look at these. Coin number three that I spoke about is Solana. And you can see Solana is the number four ranked coin in the world, right? Number four is Solana. Once again, I'm talking about this in August 2024. As you're watching this recording, maybe Ethereum's not number two, maybe Solana's not number four, maybe the other coins aren't in those numbers, but I'm just explaining what each of these coins are, right? So, first one here is Ethereum. I'm bringing Ethereum up here on the screen. The next one is Solana. Okay, bringing Solana up on the screen. Okay. The next coin I spoke about is Chainlink. As I'm speaking in August 2024, it's ranked number 16. All right, Chainlink is here, right? It's got a ticker of Link, right? LINK. Now, another way you can find these coins, just so you know, so you're aware, is go up to the search bar in the top right. You can click on search, and you can quite simply type in Link, right? LINK, and then click on Chainlink, and that brings up Chainlink. Okay. The next coin I spoke about is Near Protocol. All right, so Near Protocol is actually around about number 20, as I said. Here it is here. Near Protocol. Ticker is NEAR. Now, once again, if I want to find Near Protocol, I can quite simply just go up to the search bar, type NEAR, and there is Near Protocol. All right. Near Protocol is here, and that's the ticker for that, NEAR. Okay, so the next coin, let me just bring this up here. Bear with me a second. Just change my screen. So the next coin is Fetch. All right, also known as something else. This can be a little confusing for some people, so I'm going to share this with you all now. Right. So if we go back to the main page in CoinMarketCap.com, if you were to go to the search bar and type FET, right, you'll see that this one here comes up, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. All right. Artificial Superintelligence Alliance is the new name for Fetch. You quite simply click on that, and that is the ticker for Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, FET. Okay. That is because what has happened and what has occurred is that three different coins, Fetch AI, Singularity Net, and Ocean Protocol, they all collaborated to create one coin, which is the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. Okay. So that rounds out the five in the higher market cap coins. Now, if we go to the next one, once again, I'm going to bring up Pepe here. Once again, for anyone who's into crypto already, you're going to be saying, Troy, this isn't a lower market cap coin. It just explained before, the reason why I have Pepe in there is because it's a meme coin. All right, Pepe is here, number 25, PEPE. Right, once again, if we want to find Pepe, we can simply click on the search bar, type in PEPE, and there we have Pepe. All right. Next one is Myria coin, right? In the lower market cap coins is Myria, spelt as we go to the search bar at the top, spelt MYRIA. Miria. There it is here. As I'm speaking in August 2024, it's ranked about 517. So we click on Miria. There is Miria coin right here, currently priced at around 0.002 cents. Okay. The next one is Mavia. All right. Now, once again, if we want to find Mavia, we go to the top right in the search bar and we type in MAVIA, Heroes of Mavia. All right. Currently ranked in August 2024 at 525. We click on Mavia and there is Mavia, currently priced around $1.34. And then the next coin is Beam, okay? Beam, which is spelled B-E-A-M. So B-E-A-M. Now, there are two beams, right? There's obviously this beam ranked at 1237, and there's also this beam ranked at number 86. Now, the coin that I'm talking about is the one ranked at number 86, okay? Which is this one, I guess you could say, like a rainbow colored symbol that it has. All right, a rainbow colored logo. That is the beam that I'm speaking about. And the final coin in the lower market cap section is literally called meme coin. So if you go to the search bar, you type in MEME, and that is literally it here. Meme coin, right? Now there's lots of coins called MEME, but the one I am talking about is this one here, meme coin, right? It's got like a gold background with the letter M in the middle. Okay, it's like a golden looking coin with the letter M in the middle. All right, that's the meme coin that I am talking about. All right, so I just wanted to make that clear. Wanted to make that very as clear as I possibly could for everyone, especially for all the newbies out there as well. All right, so here is the screen back up again, obviously, of the list of coins. No worries. Thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words in the chat. I've been as clear as I possibly can, and as precise as I possibly can. So hopefully, hopefully this is making sense to you all. Now, if you are brand new and you are listening to all of this, and this is kind of something you're all taking in for the first time, once again, as I always say, please give yourself time to learn this stuff. It's taken me 8 years to get through all of this. So please give yourself time. Give yourself permission to be a beginner, all right? Because you've got plenty of time to learn this, all right? And once again, if you're listening to this module, obviously set it in module number 3. Please do yourself a favor. Go and listen to module 4 through to 9, okay? Because that is going to be essentially the best way that you can get your education first before going in and diving in to this. All right. So that would be my strong recommendation to do first. Okay. All right. So that wraps up this module. Thank you all for your very kind words in the chat. Thank you all for being here and present and asking so many great questions as well. I appreciate everyone saying it's nice and clear, so that makes me feel good. Hopefully, I have been as clear as possible. I know it's always a bit of a gap, especially with brand new people. So I like to make it as clear as I possibly can. And once again, like I said, please, if you're listening to this recording, do yourself a favor and watch the learning modules on the Crypto Pentagon before stepping into this part here. Now, as part of the video series, a part of the module series, Sandra and anyone else who's wondering, yes, we're going to be sharing the hardware wallets, the different hardware wallets you can use, and how to connect them and so on. Okay, for your own security. Okay, so thank you all so much. Jenny, yes, that question did get answered. If you send an email to trade@stormrake.com and reach out to Bisha and the team, they'll be able to share that with you and help you out with that question. So all good. Let me just see here if there's any final questions here in relation to this module. So I just want to make sure, guys, any questions that we're going to talk about or that I'm going to answer is in relation to the information I shared in this module. Okay, so if you're asking questions outside that, this isn't the place for that. We're going to be talking about this module. Yes, so Brian's asked, just to clarify, no need to buy these if we want to watch the other modules first. Yeah, absolutely, Brian. You can watch the other modules first, and then you can go back and then watch this with the renewed knowledge of what you've learned in the modules before buying the coins. Or you may be like, I've heard enough. I want to get in. I'm happy to buy these coins. It's your choice. Purely just here sharing with you my opinion. Purely just here sharing with you education, and what you guys decide to do obviously is up to you. But yeah, I would strongly recommend to watch the learning modules first before going out and purchasing any coins. Okay. Um, so yes, I'll answer that. That's a good question, Gemma. So Gemma's asked, are these coins for a longer term investment, selling at a later date? What we're going to be doing with these coins, because obviously, we can't predict when the top of the market cycle is going to be. We can't predict, is that going to be at a certain time in 2024, 2025? No one knows. So therefore, what we're going to be doing as part of the Crypto New Rich program is that everyone that is part of this program and that has purchased these modules and are going through these video sessions, what we're going to be doing is myself and the team, we're going to be sharing exactly when we're looking to dollar cost average out of these positions. Okay. So the advantage, the great advantage, I guess you could say, of being part of this Crypto New Rich program is that if you're going with this winning portfolio strategy, you're also going to receive an email from myself and the team when we're looking to exit these positions. Now, that's just when we're looking to do it. Does that mean that you have to do it at the exact same time? Of course it doesn't. But I'm just being transparent in sharing with you all when I'm personally going to be doing these things. Okay. And you guys can take that information with however you like. I'm just checking if there's any final questions related to the information that we've shared. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any other questions in relation to this. Yes, Liz. Liz and a couple of other people have mentioned about if we use this strategy and let's say we want to go through Stormrake and potentially purchase through Stormrake, wouldn't that make Pepe, Beam, Miria, Mavia, Meme Coin, wouldn't that make them $400 per coin instead of 1,000, right? Bish has mentioned there, reach out to the team anyway. Send an email to trade@stormrake.com, and they will be able to assist in some way. The beauty about working with Bisher and the team at Stormrake is that they're always willing to try and help as much as they can. So if you're doing the maths here and you're thinking, oh, hang on a second, I want to use Stormrake, but that's going to be $400 each for those coins. How does that work? As I said before, please reach out to Bisher and the team, and they'll help you as much as they can. Okay. Yes. So thank you for that, Bisher. Thanks for mentioning that. So Bisher said there in the chat for people who are here live. Yes, email the team at trade@stormrake.com, and I will help you out. So thank you, Bisher, for doing that. And Bisher, I know you're still here with us. Thank you so much for joining me, Bisher, on this in this module. And thank you so much for sharing not just the amazing service, but also the amazing offer that you've given everyone in this in our Crypto New Rich community. So thank you for that, Bisher.
No worries, man. Thank you for having me here. It was great to be on, and you've got a wonderful community and you've got great people behind you. So happy to play my role.
Fantastic, fantastic. So yes, appreciate you, Bishop. A lot of love coming in there for the chat. I know that a lot of people who are on this with us live have used your services before, and everyone's blown away. So yeah, there, in my opinion, there's no better service in the world. Hence the reason why I wanted to get Bishop on with us on this module, so he could be with us and give you guys an intro if you haven't heard of them before. Yeah, hopefully they can be of as just as much assistance. Hopefully Stormray can be just as much assistance to you guys as they have been for myself and also for our greater community. So it's fantastic as well. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this module. Once again, a massive thank you to Bisha, a massive thank you to everyone for joining us live, asking some amazing questions, great questions, because it's always good to do these modules live because you get a bunch of questions that you would think, wow, I wouldn't have thought of mentioning that, but thank you for asking that because that's a great question. Let's delve into it. So no, thank you again. As I said, massive thanks to Bishop. Massive thank you to everyone. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the kind words as well. And I will see you in the next module. It's bye for now.